The royal family has once again been pulled into controversy, and this time it has to do with Sarah Ferguson. Years ago, the Duchess of York found herself dragged into the orbit of one of the darkest scandals in modern royal history. When private communications between her and the disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein became public, the reaction was instant and merciless. As Andrew faces renewed scrutiny, and both he and Fergie find themselves financially cornered, palace sources suggest that the former Duchess might turn on her ex-husband to save her own skin. The revelation ignited a storm that engulfed her reputation and brought shame and suspicion into her life. And that was only the beginning. Before we begin this emotional journey into her struggle, please remember to show your support by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. Your kindness allows us to continue sharing the hidden, human side of royal life, where behind the polished facades lie stories of loneliness, loss, and desperate courage. Let's unpack the full story today, what's happening behind palace walls, and what this means for the future of the royal family. Sarah Ferguson will not be allowed to go by her title, the Duchess of York, and she is not happy. A source shared, "She's furious." That title was her identity. Losing it feels like a death. Sarah would leave if she could afford to. She's stuck. Royal Lodge belongs to Andrew, not her. Without him, she'd have no home or lifestyle. And perhaps deep down, she hopes that by finally speaking her truth, she can also reclaim her narrative not as a villain or accomplice, but as a woman who endured the unimaginable and chose to rise. In recent weeks, the Duchess of York appeared to have totally withdrawn from view, with royal correspondent Richard Palmer noting there has been no sign of her. Even her usual Windsor routines, from walks with the late Queen's corgis to regular shopping trips, have come to a halt. Ingrid Seward, Ferguson's biographer who has known the family since the 1982, explained that Fergie would need to remain hidden for some time if she had any hope of repairing her image. This, then, is where we find the Duchess of York. Weary, cornered, yet still unbroken. The fairy tale ended long ago, but the struggle continues not for a crown or a title, but for something infinitely more fragile and human. The right to live with dignity after the world has taken everything else away. For King Charles, who has long been sympathetic towards his ex-sister-in-law, this news is known to be particularly disheartening. Diving deeper into the ongoing scandal, and said she imagines Charles with his head in his hands after the troubling details about she emerged. Over the years, the king has extended his kindness to his former sister-in-law, even inviting her back into family events. After a loss of several charity patronages, betting odds show Sarah Ferguson is firmly odds-on to lose her royal title. According to sports media platform Pundit Arena, odds show the Duchess is 1/3 to be stripped of her titles, with it 9/4 that she manages to retain her status. The past few days have seen Sarah Ferguson lose support from a number of charities, and the Duchess of York has now been heavily tipped to be stripped of her royal titles. At 1/3, Ferguson is firmly odds-on to lose her credentials. While nothing official has been confirmed by the palace, the Duchess looks unlikely to stay and keep her royal titles, which is conversely priced at 9/4. While Charles may feel torn, Prince William is reportedly less conflicted. The Prince of Wales has long been cautious about bringing Ferguson and Prince Andrew back into the royal circle, with the latest scandal only strengthening his reluctance. Even during the funeral of the Duchess of Kent, reports suggested that the heir apparent kept a safe distance from the Yorks. Sarah's decision to remove the title from her social media accounts comes just days after royal correspondent Phil Dampier told she was on the edge of a nervous breakdown. I can reveal her older sister Jane has recently flown over from Australia to comfort her in the UK. While Sarah and Prince Andrew did not attend Christmas at Sandringham last year, as Andrew had been caught up in another scandal involving an alleged Chinese spy, they were present the year before. This is because it is believed that although they are not working royals, The king has also been keen to look out for his brother and Sarah. Pressure has intensified over one of the most controversial figures in the royal circle, Prince Andrew, the Duke of York. Once a working member of the royal family, Andrew has remained a lingering source of tension and criticism since his association with scandal became public. As outrage grows and the monarchy's image faces renewed scrutiny, King Charles is being forced to balance compassion as a brother with the expectations of a nation that demands accountability. Prince Andrew's decision to give up on his The Duke of York title has automatically affected Sarah Ferguson's royal status as she no longer the Duchess. An inside source has revealed how Andrew's ex-wife, who has been divorced from the prince since 1996, has reacted to the situation. She will always support her former husband's decisions and do anything for the king. For her, this will not make a big difference. What began as a marriage of love has become a battle of endurance. Two people once united against the world now stand on opposite sides of it, one clinging to a past that cannot be restored, the other reaching desperately for a future that will not destroy her. On weekend, the Princess of York traveled to New York at the weekend for a high society wedding as her parents, Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson, were under strict scrutiny. Beatrice appeared to enjoy a rare moment of relaxation as she attended the wedding of her longtime friend and the co-founder of digital invitation platform Paperless Post. The king's niece dazzled in a glittering black gown, her hair worn loose, and looked radiant as she sat beside the newlyweds, clearly embracing the joyous atmosphere of the celebration. The couple's shared life at Royal Lodge, their sprawling Windsor estate, has long been a strange coexistence of affection and necessity. They're divorced, yet inseparable, living together, yet said to occupy opposite ends of the 30-room mansion.